Is that you? Does she need to swear in or anything? It's a motion to revoke unadjudicated probation.
Should already have.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I've already got her.
All right.
Judge.
We can phone cause number 21-38622, the state of Texas versus Terry Broussard. You're Ms. Broussard? Yes, and you were here with your attorney, Mr. Dusler, and the state's attorney. There is a motion to revoke unadjudicated probation filed February 5th, 2026. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of this? Can we proceed in
Yes,
some?
yes.
And also probation office is here and the state's attorney is here as well. Are you familiar with this motion to revoke unadjudicated probation, ma'am? Raise your right, you're nodding yes, so, okay, raise your right hand. There you go. You solemnly swear or affirm any statement you make during this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Right. Yes, sir. In summary, this motion states that on October 13th, 2025, last year, in this court, you were placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation for 4 years for the Class A misdemeanor.
It shouldn't be. It should be state jail felony. Judge, I just noticed that when I was reading over this. I don't think Ms. Gonzalez caught it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was
Hard to be on probation for 4 years for a misdemeanor, isn't it?
Yes, it was a misdemeanor theft that was enhanced to state jail. There's a priors.
No, you didn't. And they just got it wrong on the motion. It's a state jail, or led to a state jail.
Yeah, looking at judgment adjudicating guilt on October 13th of last year, degree of offense, state jail felony.
Yes, sir. It
2
should
years
say,
state jail.
it should say state jail felony. I think Ms. Gonzalez just missed it on the motion. So we'd move to amend that from a Class A misdemeanor to a state jail felony.
No?
It's like it was also
We've got
from 5 years, yeah.
Got several problems here.
I think it's 4.
Now, according to the judgment, the adjudication says 5.
Bring it on. It's state. I think it's because she had some fears.
Actually, this, sentenced on 10/13/25, 2 years state jail, and then sentence confinement suspended, defendant placed on probation community supervision for 4
So this
years.
wasn't even a deferred, it was actual.
It's a regular probation.
Right.
2 years, 2 years state jail, probated for 4 years.
Correct.
So we got to change a lot.
No, correct. 4 is correct. Oh, except it's not unadjudicated.
Yeah, right.
All right, this motion to revoke unadjudicated probation in 21-38622 has some errors. And in the second paragraph of the motion to revoke probation, it states that the defendant, Terry Broussard, a defendant in this case, was tried in the criminal district court, Jefferson County, Texas, on October 13th, 2025, for the offense of theft of property, a state jail felony. I corrected that from a Class A misdemeanor to a state jail felony. Any objections to that?
Okay.
It is corrected then. And that on such date, the judge of said court found that the evidence was sufficient beyond a reasonable doubt to support a finding of guilt of the above stated offense, and then, but deferred adjudication of guilt and placed the defendant on probation. Okay, that is incorrect. That phrase is incorrect because the defendant.
Yes. It should read, was found guilty and placed on probation. Sentenced to 2 years state jail, suspended and placed on probation for 2 years.
Gotcha.
See, here's the problem. You go back. This began as a deferred or unadjudicated probation,
Correct.
and it was deferred. She was placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation January of 2025 for 5 years. Then in 9-10 months later, motion to revoke probation had been filed. And then, then there is a administrative hearing in May of 25. A motion to revoke probation was to be filed. And
That's the correct language.
first, I cannot find the original motion to revoke probation here in this file. It's not in there. Can I get a printout of that? It jumps right to a judgment.
The one from 2005.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got a copy.
Well, let me get the one out of the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says you must not in here.
There's one file, 8/18/25.
Yeah, there was a administrative hearing signed by the court to order a motion to be filed, and that was done on January 8th. That's what I have most recent. Then there was a order. Then in May 30th, an administrative order ordering the MTRP on May 30th of last year. And that, the next thing I have is a judgment adjudicating guilt. I don't have the motions.
Just you probably send it for scanning. Let me, I just found you a copy.
Okay. I'm gonna do that. Walk this thing through on the record. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Wow, something new here. Yeah. The court is now holding and will get this physically into the file. The file jacket here and this cause number 21-38622, a motion to revoke unadjudicated probation, in this case filed August 18th of last year. And that resulted in a sentence, a hearing and sentence imposed on October 13th of last year. In this case, where the defendant pleaded truth to allegations 1, 2, and 3, failing to report to the probation office, failing to immediately report to the probation office her new phone number, and failing to provide verification of appointed community service hours required, which were violations of conditions 4, 9, and 17 respectively of her deferred or unadjudicated probation order. The court found that was sufficient to revoke her deferred or unadjudicated probation. It was done. Then she was found guilty based upon that motion to revoke unadjudicated probation on 10/13/2025, sentenced to 2 years in the state jail, but that was suspended and she was placed on regular probation for 4 years. So the deferred converted to regular probation. And now here we are back for a motion to revoke. As this says unadjudicated probation, but I've got to change that up at the top to regular.
Just move to strike unadjudicated.
Un. Took un out.
Okay.
All right, so again,
And after the word offense, this is the language, Judge, that we put in the motions I've got highlighted for you. You can add what you want, take out what you want, but
way too many words on that place.
yes, sir. You can, like I say, you can shorten it however you want to, but it's after the word offense, as that's where it begins.
Hmm.
And on this, I didn't change 5 to 4, but that's.
All right. This has been corrected here on the motion to revoke adjudicated probation from unadjudicated to adjudicated probation. And paragraph 2 goes on to allege that in a corrected form that Terry Broussard, a defendant in the above styled and numbered cause, was tried in the criminal district court of Jefferson County, Texas on the 13th day of October 2025 for the offense of theft property, a state jail felony, and that on such date, the judge in said court found that the evidence was sufficient beyond a reasonable doubt to support a finding of guilt for the above stated offense, and punishment was assessed at 2 years state jail, Texas Department of Criminal Justice, suspended confinement, and placed the defendant on probation for a period of 4 years upon conditions that, and we pick up from there.
We have no objections to that amendment.
That is corrected in the amendment. Is all of that true and correct, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All right. Allegation 1 states you failed to report to the Jefferson County Probation Office on or about November 12th, 2025, December 4th, 2025, December 18th, 2025, and January 8th of 20, is that 2026?
Probably should be, Judge.
You should be, yes, sir.
In violation, okay, we're going to correct that.
Yes, sir.
There's no end to the corrections in this one.
Yes, sir. Never made the homes you. All right.
And that is a violation of condition 4 of your deferred probation order. Is all of that true and correct?
Yes, sir.
Number 2 states you failed to immediately report to the probation office your contact information.
Judge, we can just call one. She's already agreed to the punishment.
Okay, 1, are you pleading true to allegation 1 voluntarily and because it is true as it is alleged?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that voluntarily and knowingly made plea of 1 or more violations of probation? That's enough to grant a motion to revoke probation by a preponderance of the evidence or greater. The probation can hereby be revoked and you can be sentenced to no less than 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail. Knowing all of that, do you insist on pleading true today?
Yes, sir.
I find you were pleading true voluntarily. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading true. An agreement has been reached here in your case where your probation would be revoked. And this is an agreement that you're agreeing to. Your probation would hereby be revoked and you would be sentenced to 18 months in the state jail, given credit for all time you have served in accordance with this case in confinement. Is that your understanding of the plan?
Yes, sir.
If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
going to show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1 here. Did you sign that document? Understand it, discuss it with your attorney, or the contents true and correct?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 tendered in time, without objection admitted. This goes on to state that you understand fully that you are giving up all rights of appeal if I follow this agreement.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to follow this agreement, ma'am. Anything else to add by the parties?
sir.
If not, I'm going to find that Ms. Broussard here in cause number 21-38622 has pleaded true voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently to allegation 1 of this motion to revoke adjudicated probation filed on February 5th, 2026, and as corrected today, as she was placed on originally deferred or unadjudicated probation for the state jail felony of theft of property. That was revoked. She was placed on regular probation thereafter. That was revoked hereby today. And her regular probation of 2 years in the state jail, probated for 4 years, is hereby revoked. And by agreement of the parties, the defendant is hereby sentenced to confinement in the state jail for 18 months. Do you understand what has happened today?
Yeah. Yeah, 18 months, we've heard.
And how much time does she have credit for? Do we know? We can give you an idea, because you're probably not adding all this up. And
She has time in other counties, Judge. I can't look that up.
yeah, you see, okay, we're not gonna be able to do it, but you are being given credit for time on this case for time you have served in custody in other counties. So it's gonna all add into the equation. You're not gonna lose anything. I know you may have to spend some more time. We don't know, but we can figure it out, but we can't do it right now. But it's because you were in jail in other counties, and we don't know exactly how much that is. But it will be added by law to your sentence, okay?
Okay.
Oh, good luck, ma'am. Thank you. No, you're, yes, ma'am, and you move on with your life and do better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice lady.
Trying to